Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Insert Lab. As we're coming down the stretch, we got a lot of hot topics for you. As there's been a lot of things in the NFL that have been going on in the past couple of days. First, we're going to start off with those college football rankings, the trade deadline rules. Josh McDaniel is out at the Raiders. Our top three teams in the AFC and NFC, our game picks, and then Henry's gonna close it off with this week's fantasy pickups because it looked like it's a lot of people going through their waiver wire. So come on, we're gonna get it. But first, let's go ahead and go to the intro.
My fault. What happened? I'll eat his Popeye.
This man says he's eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
I'm ready for a break.
Save this clip.
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands. And
Commercial.
We over here about to die of thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?
Get real lonely with the mic on, bro. I just want to talk to my friends.
I was like, no, you're good. You're good. All right, y'all. So let's
What's going
start.
on, Lady E?
How you doing? You good?
What's up?
I'm good. What's up, DT?
What's up, y'all? It's been a while since I've been back up here, man. You know,
I was a little thrown off by the, I was ready for the music, man. I'm used to the music, get me in my groove, but we'll work it in. No, good to see y'all.
Yes. It's been one hectic past week. You know, we had Halloween. You know, your girl birthday was yesterday, so
Happy birthday, Lady E. 21 once again. I see you.
Exactly. Yeah. Kind of. I'll tell you right now, I had 8 Cosmos and I felt every last one of them because I fell asleep on the couch. All right.
Good God.
Hey, I look, that is the fun part of being Jamaican, you know. We can handle a lot. But no. But no, let's start off this week with these college football rankings. We are now in the stretch of college football where we only have a month left, y'all. Legitimately. 6 more weeks, and that is it. The top 4 is going to be set on their way to the playoffs, and then all bowl games for anybody else that is going to outside looking in this year. So, what are we thinking? Let's start with DT because, first of all, the only reason I'm starting with you because I have a bone to pick with y'all. So let's go ahead and talk about this. This top four. Let's go ahead, drop it down because I got a bone to pick.
So we haven't really talked about college football lately. So top 4, Ohio State's number 1. You got Georgia number 2. Michigan's 3, and you have Florida State 4. I think it was an obvious and probably logical choice for the committee to put Ohio State at number 1. Do I agree that they should be number 1? Probably not. I don't think they have had a complete game yet offensively. There's still some things that we need to work on. But when you look at the resume, that is the main reason why Ohio State is number 1. They went on the road in South Bend, a hostile environment, beat Notre Dame by 3 points in a stunner, and they had a home game against Penn State and won by 8 points. And those are 2 teams in the top 15. So if you look at by resume, Ohio State has the best resume as of right now. But right now, I actually love this. I love there is parity in college football because there's a lot of questions with these teams, especially with Georgia last year. And I know Florida State looks very explosive, but can they be consistent? There have been some games where they have won by the hairs of their chin. Michigan, they look pretty good so far this year. I just kind of question, who have they played, but they can't control the schedule. So we'll see when they head to Happy Valley play against Penn State, and there's a lot of games to be played. I mean, Alabama so far, they looking like a team that's going to sneak up on somebody if they don't tighten up as well. So it's a lot of football to be played. Me being very non-biased, I'm okay with them putting Ohio State number one based on resume, but I know there's a lot of work to be done for Ohio State to get where they need to do to get the national championship.
All right. What about you, Hen? Because they kind of disrespected a little bit with Michigan and said we don't care if y'all the most complete team and look the best team, but we're gonna put y'all number three.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. My personal opinion is like at this point, I don't really mind our ranking. You know what I'm saying at this point because I know it's early. It's still, this is really for talking purposes for us to kind of crunch up some numbers and kind of get the ball rolling for what I'm saying the momentum towards the championship. So for me, I'm just happy to be in the top four. I know we really haven't played anybody. A lot of things going on outside of the program. I think maybe affecting some people's eyes and votes right now and putting some doubt on how complete is this team? How much is it the team or how much is it this scandal? So with that being said, I'm just happy to be in the mix. Ohio State, to being objective, Ohio State does probably have the most complete resume at this point. That was a very, very big win, lucky win, but a big win in South Bend. You know what I'm saying? That was also a very, very big win and an impressive showing against Penn State as well. And I think it's going to be hard pressed for any of the top teams to kind of match those games. I think when you look at a Georgia, they're the returning champion. They, are kind of rebuilding a little bit. They've had some games where they got good wins. I think Kentucky was a great win. Florida was a solid win, but they have some games where they probably, I think some folks probably would have liked them to dominate a little bit more, and that didn't quite happen. So I think that's why they're kind of holding them back right now. And then again, Florida State not really getting the respect that a team gets coming out of the ACC. They got a couple of quality wins too, but I don't think people view the ACC as that as the Big Ten or the SEC. So they're kind of creeping up on the come up back there. So to me, to be honest with you, I'm really, really interested in that second group of teams. I'm interested in that Washington, Oregon, Texas, Alabama group, because as we know, Michigan are going to play Ohio State. That's basically going to be an eliminator at the end of the season. The SEC is going to be a tough gauntlet. They have their SEC championship game, so that could possibly be a college football playoff eliminator game. So that second group is very interesting as well to see kind of how they're going to work out. We saw, like I said, Washington and Oregon. They're in the Pac-10. I think they can possibly meet again in the Pac-10 championship, possibly. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done my research totally, but it's very, very, very interested in that second group. So I'm just sitting back chilling, man, just hoping that our whole postseason still can happen this year. That's all I'm praying. And I'm just praying that we don't, have a downfall, a trip up before the college football playoff this year. How you feel, Lady E, about young Georgia?
It was a head scratcher at first because I mean, honestly, I was expecting you guys to be number one. To be honest with you, I expected Michigan to be number one. I really wanted us to be number three, but hey, that just it is what it is. Kirby gonna have them boys and even let them know don't even worry about the rankings or whatever like that. The rankings. Play your game, play Georgia football, and we'll be good. Rankings might change because after this we have three teams that we're playing that are actually ranked. So we play Ole Miss, who's ranked currently right now at number 10. We play number 12 Missouri at home this weekend, and then we still have number 17 Tennessee that's going to be in their house. So these rankings can definitely change for us about
it's fluid, as my boy Stephen A says. It's definitely going to be fluid.
It very much is, because a lot of people did talk about our schedule of being one of the easiest, but who would have thought that some of these teams would have been ranked where they're currently ranked at this point. So again, we all know that schedule may look in one way until we actually get in game, get in season, and these teams can look a whole nother way when it comes down to it. So yeah, I do agree we haven't played the greatest. Losing Brock, a lot of people have questions about that. We showed the offense last week that we can still move the ball. We still can do things as long as we got the people that can get there. So it's going to be some spotlight showing on a lot of players now. We're going to be needing them. But yeah, I will agree about Florida State. I really do feel like 3 and 4 could have been a toss up, to be honest with you. Like I said, I did feel like Michigan deserved to be up there. along with us, but I did feel like 3 or 4 could be a toss up between like that of a Oregon, Ohio State, Washington. I'm not gonna include Texas. Um, because with Texas lost to Oklahoma, and then Oklahoma going over there and losing the way that they lost, it kind of takes that quality. It kind of helps them out, but I'm still going to say that Texas still has to show something, and they won't be able to really show anything until they go to that Big 12 championship. So I'm not going to include them in there, but you can make a case for Washington. You can make a case for Oregon, a Florida State, and Ohio that could be mixed in that 3 or 4. So we'll see. We'll see how
And what's
that goes.
crazy?
Ohio.
And what's
What?
Ohio.
You
The
you better.
Bobcats. When the Bobcats get in this conversation?
That's what I'm calling y'all. I don't have no. That's what we're gonna do. Y'all are Ohio, Miami. Is that what they call them?
Okay, now we're Red Hawks. Okay.
man?
But I got
Yeah.
off mic because I wanted to ask this question. And we see the Pac-12; they have been outstanding this year, and we
Mhm.
know they're going to kill each other down the stretch.
Yep.
USC got to play Oregon. Washington has to play USC, and all that other stuff. But if you had to pick a team right now from the Pac-12, which Pac-12 team is more scarier if you had to play them in the college football playoffs? Is it Oregon or is it Washington?
I'll say Oregon because of their defense. To be honest with you, Washington it has a scary offense to me.
So it's hard to say because I think Oregon, again, like to Lady E's point, definitely defensively they are better. But these two teams have played, and we saw
Yeah.
that Washington, beat them. So to me, and that quarterback, man, just Mike Penix just looks awesome. So to
Yeah.
me, Washington kind of proved on the field so far, and hopefully they can play again. But on the field so far, that they're the better team, and it's going to be scary to play either one of them.
Yeah.
But I trust Michael Penix a little bit more than I trust Bo Nix. I remember that Bo Nix from Auburn. I can't erase it. I can't get rid of it. I can't. I remember. You know what I'm saying? So.
But give him credit. He has looked 180 from his Auburn days. He really has.
He has, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I do want to know: is it truly his game stepping up, or is it a combination of his game stepping up along with being in a great offensive system with some great offensive players and a great line? Is he a product of that system? And I hope that's not a knock on him. I think there's definitely been some improvement, but I got to see a little bit more, and you don't really see those magnified lockdown defenses in the Pac-12. So we'll see.
Yeah, I will agree with that. It's that the Pac-12 actually has an argument between them and the ACC. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to put the Big 12 in there because to me, it's like the big, like you said, beating up on each other. The Big 12 is now is beating up on each other at this point. So I really feel like when it comes down to even possibly that last point, it's going to be a good argument between the ACC and the Pac-12. I'm going to say that because they can argue with each other right now. They thought USC was going to be in there, and USC just they're out. They're out. They had their chance last year, and
I
this
blame
year,
Lincoln Riley, man.
oh,
I
y'all just
blame
Why you blame him?
because the total incompetence to have the same defensive coordinator that runs the same putrid scheme and not use the talent of these players. Now that USC, they not extremely like talented like Georgia or Bama, Michigan, Ohio State on the defensive side, but they're in the state of California. They can get some guys out there for you to keep having the same defensive coordinator and running this a slightly aggressive scheme, and it has these players out of place, and you lose these 2 games when this could have been a great year for Caleb Williams. Is putrid. He is the Jay Gruden of college football.
So you blaming the X's and the O's and not the Jims and the Joes.
I blame both. Like I said that the defense in terms of the players, they're not there like the SEC and a couple of the teams in the Big Ten and other places. There is some talent deficiency in some places, but it's also the scheme as well.
Yeah.
I can agree with you there, but I will say Caleb looked very, very, very mortal, very regular, very mid, very Reggie Miller, as we like to call sometimes around. He looked very Reggie the other day.
Oh,
So
he playing top 25 defenses, right?
I mean,
Everybody playing top 5.
maybe I don't. I mean, they were. I mean, very well could be, but he didn't look special. He didn't look special.
He's been playing some teams. They got some tape on them. That's what it is. And he
Oh
went to
yeah, well,
Notre
yeah,
Dame.
yeah. Well, that's what
Golden.
that's what I like to see.
Golden.
Let me see what you can do when they done really schemed up for you. That's what I like to see.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah. Well, I mean,
still love the kid. Still love the kid, but he does has some human moment. He does show some humility right there.
Okay. So before we move on, before we move on really quick, what was one of your surprises if you guys kind of looked at the rankings? What surprise with certain teams for you guys on the list that kind of shocked you with their rankings?
To me, obviously, is looking at a team like Alabama so low. I mean, really not low. Everything is still in front of them, but them not being like in the top 5 or 6 is just really something I'm not used to. Not during Nick Saban's run. So to me, that was a little crazy. But again, that second group of teams, man, is a very, very exciting group of teams. I can one or two of those teams we just know, you know what I'm saying, is going to back their way into the playoffs. So those teams are exciting, man. So yeah, but Alabama being not in the top 6.
Okay. What about you?
I'll probably say Penn State based on the fact of how they have looked a little bit like they have the defense, but their offense they having a hard time pushing the ball down the field, and they're kind of playing like complimentary football, checking the ball, getting the ball, short yardage, things like that. But they haven't really looked explosive as I expected them coming into the season with a slightly better quarterback. So I'm kind of surprised they're at 11, not somewhere probably. I would probably put them like maybe 15, 16, something like that. That's just me.
No Big Ten bias.
No, it's not. It's really just how I look at you in front of
Yeah.
my eyes because they played Indiana and they had a hard time against Indiana. I thought that was going to be their get right game. Although Indiana does have a little bit of an underrated defense,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Penn State, with the athletes they have, they should have been able to a little bit dominate this team somewhere in the second quarter or second half.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to weigh in real quick on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
John Franklin has definitely done a great job building up that whole program, but he has yet to get the game-changing quarterback. As long as he's been there, he hasn't had Trace McSorley. No shot to Trace. Trace was tight. Trace was tight for the most part when he was there. He's a pro. He is a pro. He's been drafted. Why you laughing, DT? Why you laughing? Trace McSorley was the Sam Howell of his draft. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
But what I'm saying is he has not had that game-changing quarterback. I don't know. Virginia is a very, very rich area in terms of football talent. Of course, I'm saying the DMV area is a strong foothold for football talent. They can go south. They've recruited south. Pennsylvania is a strong state. So it's kind of crazy to me that they haven't gotten that game-changing quarterback from within their region, and that continues to be their downfall. They have not been able to make that step, man, since what's my man Kerry Collins. Y'all remember Kerry? Y'all might not even been alive. Kerry Collins and Trace McSorley is at the top of their list. You ain't gonna win too many big games with them guys.
I'm so dead that he had to bring that. My shocker is Air Force. Shout out to the military schools. I love the fact that Air Force has been doing their thing. They're undefeated. I mean, I get it. They're ranked at number 25, but shout out to military schools because again, they don't do too much recruiting because of the military obligations that you do have to sign up with after that when you come into those type of schools. So to see that their football program is actually ranked, they're 8-0 and they're looking good. I'm proud of those. I'm proud of the military schools, man. Even though I'm an army brat, so the nights ain't looking too hot. But shout out to the nerds over there at the Air Force. They actually doing something good,
Man, they
athletic.
hey, listen, they didn't brought this whole option thing to the 21st century, man. So
Yes,
I
they
man,
have.
shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Yes, they have. But hey, you got to do anything that works. But again, this military that we're talking about, they're so they're doing something. So shout out to the Air Force. We can also congratulate the nerds because we're actually seeing better. Love it, love it. All right, so let's go into the big news. It's probably gonna take up a lot, but let's go into the next news, the big news. The trade deadline has passed. Some of our teams were buyers and some of our teams were sellers. And let's talk to the first seller in the group and kind of get his little feedback with the Commanders giving both away Chase Young and Montez Sweat to the Chicago Bears for Sweat and Chase Young to the 49ers. So, what is your thought going into this now that y'all kind of had a fire sale a little bit on defense?
Mm.
So I had a sense that Montez Sweat was going to be the first guy that was going to be traded off the team based on how we felt the energy at Ashburn, how they were proceeding. He took like some of the took some of his commanders content off of his pages and stuff. Um, I kind of said, if there was someone that was going to go, I would probably trade Montez Sweat because I feel like, in my opinion, Montez has not had the how I want to say it. He has not had that season yet. I mean, he's the highest he has had is maybe 8 to 9 sacks,
Mm-hmm.
but he also has not had a Pro Bowl. That's the main reason why it was a big conversation about Chase Young because his price tag is going up because he already has a Pro Bowl under his belt, even though he didn't play in it. So I felt they were going to keep Chase Young and trade Montez away. They did trade Montez. There was definitely talks about him going back home to Atlanta, but unfortunately, the Chicago Bears swooped in with a better offer, and Washington could not refuse. So me, I'm outside. I'm doing the parking lot, letting the kids get ready to go home, getting ready to go come in the house, relax stuff. Next thing you know, my phone blowing up, and Chase Young got traded to the 49ers. That definitely took me. I was thinking if you're going to get rid of one, you probably have to keep the other, but they decided they're going to take both defense ends off the roster.
Mm.
Um, I'm not hurt. I'm not sad. I think as I grow up and start doing this podcast and watching the NFL and having my opinions, this is a business. And even though Chase Young was having a great start to this year, there are still some things that I saw that he was still doing that was lacking discipline on the field. And for him, I kind of hate it because he had the rookie year, then start being undisciplined. Then the injury happened. People questioning, hey, does he still got it? Hey, is he good? He had to deal with that all the off season. Didn't realize how big the injury was. So it's a lot. I think the fan base is definitely kind of split. But the one thing I will say as a fan, I understand there are some things that a player would do that nobody like. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're telling me that the culture has changed in that building, and but yet you're still throwing strays and shots at players after they are traded, that sounds like, I hate to say this thing, that sounds like the Dan Snyder era. That's what I have dealt with for a while, and the past couple of days, that has what I've seen in the media and things like that. So I'm wishing them both best of luck. Um, we're addressing the future in the next couple of years. So now Edge is definitely going to be something we need to look at coming free agency in the draft. $90 million coming in. A couple more draft picks. Been a while since we had a lot of picks in the top 50. So I'm definitely excited to see what can the Hogs group do after the offseason. It's pretty obvious Ron Rivera is going to be gone. Ron Rivera is going to be gone. Del Rio is going to be gone. Don't know if EB is going to be the guy here or not, but if they want to get their own guy, I have no problem whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. And that's really all I got to say, y'all.
Look. Yes, what could have came back here to Atlanta, man. He's a Stevenson High School graduate, has a house out here in Eagle
That's
Landing.
been good for y'all. I actually did want him to go to Atlanta.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Atlanta didn't want to probably market that much of the draft capital for that. So again, we weren't buyers when it came down to it. Henry, your team, your team kind of stayed put a little bit. Y'all didn't really make too much noise when it came back to being buyers and anything. So how do you feel about some of these trades that took place?
Well, first of all, I got to get my Negro spiritual rock on for DT, man, because I was elevated and he brought me back down. He brought me down, man. Listen, man, it's gonna be all right, baby. It's gonna be all right. Yes, Lord. Man, y'all been blessed. Y'all been blessed with these picks. Yeah. Y'all need to find y'all a GM and a coach and pray on these picks. I was surprised. They gave both of them away. I knew that there was a little issue with Chase Young. A lot of rhetoric talking about he probably wasn't going to re-sign with the team. So getting rid of him, I think, made sense. Montez Sweat, I think it is a little bit challenging because, again, what are you going to pay him? What is he going to ask for? Is it going to be is it going to be comparable to what his actual production was? I think he still has a lot of good football ahead of him. But, again, it makes it sound like he had some issues there, too, wanted to get out of town. But it was crazy because the Lions were trying to get involved with Montez Sweat. Reportedly, they offered a third-round pick, but Chicago swooped in with the second-round pick. And, of course, they went with the greater compensation. I think that would have been a solid pickup for us, adding another bookend for Aiden because Houston has broke his ankle. That's kind of hurt some things. Aquara and the Aquara brothers, if you will, have kind of, I don't want to say underwhelmed. Julian has been hurt. He just got back from injury. So we needed another guy to kind of press the pocket a little bit and bookend Aiden. It didn't happen, but I'm okay with it. As far as what we did bring in DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, definitely, homebred, CT grad. So, I'm definitely pulling for him, definitely showing that he's a very, very solid receiver in this league. Gives us a big-bodied receiver, 6'2", well over 200 pounds, can get down the field, be a deep threat, be a big physical target in the red zone, as well as be a very, very physical perimeter blocker. We like to run the rock. So, him out here blocking be key for us. We lost Marvin Jones, who decided to kind of go home and be with his family. I don't know if something's going on personally or he's looking at retirement, but we lost him. And of course, Jameson's development has been a little bit, stunning a little bit. So still waiting for him to come around. So I think this is a good, a good pickup for us. Donovan is in a contract year. He's going to definitely want to show out for home. Man, a high school was a mile from Ford Field. Man, he's played many city championship games, state championship games in that stadium. So he's going to want to show up and show out. So a good move, man, low risk move for us, and we'll just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, we picked up a defensive player. As you guys know, we lost Grady Jarrett off the line to an ACL injury for the year. And they went out and they picked up Street. He used to from the Eagles. He used to play for the Saints too as well. So a lot of people said that he was a good pickup with that, but everybody wanted the big name, flashy name, and stuff like that for us. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this is gonna play out. Right now, people are on hot seats. My fan base, I'm not gonna say shambles, but it's just a lot going on. So we're gonna see. We're not gonna have that much money. We're gonna have money, but it's not gonna be in the high numbers like we had this past season. So we're gonna see about making some moves, making some key free agent signings this time since we weren't players in the sweepstakes. You know, we offered third too as well. But I mean, again, unless we was going to offer a first for us to get Montez Sweat, you know, the higher second round pick is very more enticing um, to the Commanders than something in the third, probably mid level round, especially the way we're playing right now. So, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think, you know, like I said, our fan base, you know, we you know, it's been a while since we've been competitive like this, so they definitely want to, you know, saying shoot for the moon right now. They think that the window is right now, and I think, you know, the window is open, but I think that, you know, for our organization, we want to win. You know what I'm saying, within our DNA. You know what I'm saying, within our culture. We don't want to have to step out and do a knee jerk reaction to something. So giving up those picks, you know, Chicago. They brought in Sweat for the second round pick. They thought they were going to be able to really to sign him immediately. He's already said he's going to take his time and look around. So same thing with Chase. You know, unless you're bringing them in and already have a deal in hand, that's a big risk. You know, to give up a second or a third round pick, a day one or a day two or early day two picks for guys who can walk away in 6 or 7 weeks. So for I think Atlanta, they were smart, young building franchise. You know, for not jumping into that pool, you know what I'm saying, and using and possibly losing those resources as second and third round picks. And I think Washington, if you have a pretty good indication that these guys are not going to come back to your team, they don't fit whatever you're trying to do, or they're, you know, mentally checked out of whatever the situation is, get something for them. And now you're sitting with 5 picks in the top 90. You know, I don't know who's going to make the picks, but, you know, you have a great chance to jumpstart, you know, your team with young, cheap, exciting talent. So I think, you know, Washington did well. San Fran, you know, you add, you know, what they with Chase to that line, even though Bosa's been kind of up and down this year, but, you know, add them to that defense. They look tough. I think they got Randy Gregory a couple of weeks ago too. So they got some pass rushing chops over there in San Francisco. So that's definitely looking tough. And then my man Josh Dobbs, I'm telling y'all, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't care where he go. You give him 4 days with the playbook in the Uber at a Holiday Inn Express, he is going to be a starter, man, in this league. I don't care where. I didn't know he was a rocket scientist. They tell me he a rocket scientist, for real, for real. So, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to this guy.
Vikings already named their backup the starter for our game, so they're giving him some time to get acclimated. They're not.
All they need is a week, and he ready.
I'm dead. I'm so dead.
Put him up in a Holiday Inn Express, a Marriott Courtyard. Let him do his thing, man. Let him do his thing. And Minnesota, surprisingly, is like in the playoff race or in the playoffs, like if the season ended right now. So their season's not totally underwater either, even though they lost Kirk Cousins.
Yep. So we'll see how that North plays out, because y'all going back and forth, and y'all a little bit shaky over there. Y'all shaky.
Now, hold on. Now who you mean is y'all? Who is this y'all? Who is this y'all?
Look, first of all, y'all supposed to take the division by storm. Y'all ain't supposed to let nobody be able to.
We 6-2. We can't win them all. Them 2 losses, that ain't that bad. Seattle looked pretty damn good. Baltimore damn to the best team in the AFC. I mean, it's hard to even tell. Every time you want to elevate somebody, they get knocked off by some bum. But I mean, we 6-2. We do what we supposed to do.
Okay, we'll see. All eyes on the North right now. All eyes on the North. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to our next subject. So, speaking of fire sale, the Las Vegas Raiders decided at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to say Josh McDaniels and their GM, bye-bye. Y'all up out of here. Now, Aiden McConnell steps in. They even told Jimmy G, sit your ass down. We're going to start this rookie. All right. So, what are y'all thinking? Are we back at the old Raiders? How y'all feeling?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's crazy, man. I don't even know if this story is true. So listen, this is just what I heard, and I heard it on Twitter. So I'm gonna let you know. I don't even know, but it's funny to me. But they say that Mark Davis was already considering firing this guy. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna give himself to the trade deadline or whatever. But they say that now again. This is what they say, man. This is what the people say, but they say that who the coach? Who was the coach? McDaniels. McDaniels dressed up as Mark Davis for Halloween. Now that's what they say. Did you hear this? Did you hear this, DT? So yeah, he dressed up as this guy, Mark Davis, and I guess he had some type of traditional lunch every day. He get the same lunch or whatever. I don't know if it's Mr. Chop, PF Chang. He get PF Chang. Now I don't even know, is PF Chang the Cheesecake Factory? Are they on the same lines?
I mean, to be honest with you,
They in the same category.
I don't like.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if the owner of the goddamn Las Vegas Raiders can go to PF Chang's, then damn it, that girl can go to Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chi-Chi's. That's what she look like she dressed for. Chi-Chi's anyway. But anyhow, they say my man ordered the traditional dinner. Mark Davis ordered the traditional lunch that he normally get from PF Chang's and had it with McDaniels. And they say he told him to read his fortune cookie, and his fortune cookie said he was fired. Now I don't know how true that is, but that's a funny story either way it go. But hey, McDaniels fumbled the bag. It's the second time he done fumbled the bag. He been, they've been graciously giving him jobs. He's been branded a boy genius, and sometimes he's just the offensive coordinator. That may be the height of where you go, and that's okay. He done earned a lot of checks. I'm not sorry for him. His dream did work out for him. He had a couple times to live it. So the Vegas is still a good job to me. You got Max Crosby. You have a couple of defenders that are solid players. You got Devontae Adams for at least this year. You have Josh Jacobs, who's on the franchise deal. If you can re-sign him, you got a couple solid pieces. So that's a solid job, and I hope somebody, a.k.a. Brian Flores, who's doing a decent job in Minnesota, gets a shot at that job. So that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I'll say this. I'm not going to put Josh McDaniel up there with the likes of Sam Bradford, who is the most scammiest quarterback that who can sit over here and get jobs and get big checks and not do anything. I don't know if the Raiders' job is pretty appealing. A lot of people don't like the owner. I mean, I wouldn't like the owner either. He got a chili bowl haircut. But, a lot of people don't like the owner, but they are in a good market with Vegas being, with the Raiders being right there in Vegas. But, I mean, the thing is, I think it's too many moving pieces for a coach to come in and try to salvage anything. Like at this point, it's really going to be like you're either going to have to scrap everything and start over again, which I don't think the owner wants. Or you're going to have to try to salvage. And right now, I think they're a little bit too far gone to try to salvage, especially when you got two of your top players. One is basically you traded away my guy that I came over here for you to a whole nother team, gave me this dude, and we look like this. And Josh Jacobs like, where my money?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I blame Mark Davis. I blame Mark Davis because you had the blueprint right in Detroit. You had Patricia and you had the GM. You know what I'm saying? They screwed it all up. They say McDaniels traded away Derek Carr because he had more influence, so they say in the locker room than he had. So he had to go. So the GM was on board with that, shipped them out. Now they both shipped out. So Mark Davis got to take some accountability for some of the decisions he made. I don't know kind of how he's, the makeup looks. I mean, he looks like he might be a little bit quirky. I'll say that. But at least when folks have gotten the jobs there, he's allowed them to do their thing. When the young man from NFL Network, Mike Mayock, he went out on them and allowed him to do his job. He allowed these guys to do their job. He wasn't meddlesome. He spent money. He went out and got Devontae. He paid him. So he gives them the leeway to do their job. Now, if you don't do it well, then you might end up with a fortune cookie talking about you fired. At least he allows you to do your job. And that's all you can ask. You know what I'm saying? And they have pieces. It's not like a total strip it down to the studs.
Yeah.
You may have to get some guys to buy into, get some guys to kind of buy into the whatever program you're pushing. But it's a solid. It's not the worst job you can get in the NFL. Sure.
It's not. What do you think, DT?
Steve Wilkes will love that job.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. This is Josh McDaniels' second time attempting to be a head coach, and it just tells me you don't need to be a head coach no more. You do
Mm,
not need to be a leader of men. You do not be leading a football operation. You just need to be an offensive coordinator and stay right there. And I kind of hate it for the Raider team because I like some of the players up there that they have, but it's coaching malpractice. And when one of your players telling you, like, that's not my job to fix the offense, that is a huge red flag.
mhm.
You know, Josh McDaniels, that's your job. That's you're an offensive guy. You came from the Patriots, got a couple Super Bowl rings. Some of these guys have never seen a Super Bowl ring when you walk in that building with the
Yeah.
Raiders. So I kind of hate it for the Raiders, man. You got Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, you got Josh Jacobs. You know, they got a couple of guys. You know, there's still some spots that need to be cleaned up and then and there, but you got some guys that can at least shine a bright light on the Raider organization. And now with Jimmy G, you know, injured, we know what he is. We get a shot at looking at Aiden O'Connell. He gets the opportunity of a lifetime to play in the National Football League and show what he can do. So excited to see what Aiden O'Connell can do on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I can't even put it all on Garoppolo because Garoppolo, as much criticism as he's taken in this league, he's been to NFC Championships games. He's been to a Super Bowl. He has won in this league. He was a hand-picked player by Josh McDaniels because he played for him in New England. So nobody to
Mm-hmm.
blame but Mr. McDaniels. Unfortunately, he loses his job, but he gets to walk away with all his money, and he's again a two-time head coach. He's made tens of millions of dollars doing
Okay.
this business. So, he's okay. His family's okay. He'll probably still find him a coordinating job or be on TV within the next 2 weeks. So, God bless him.
Exactly. We're gonna see how that's gonna be again. You know how we used to call it back in the day. You go to the Raiders, and die. So it looks like they might be back on that on that carousel until they can finally find some ways to win, especially in that AFC West over there too, with the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Chargers. So while we're speaking on that, let's get to our top three teams of the AFC and NFC DT. Go ahead and drop who you're thinking about, especially after this carousel of trade deadlines and different things. Who do you have in your top?
So Number number three, I'm gonna go Baltimore Ravens. I like what I've seen. They're gonna get a little bit healthy. The offense is gonna grow. Just need to be a little bit more consistent and don't try to go away from something that what makes the Ravens is running the football. Once they run the football and the passing game matches that, and they can go off of that, they're a dangerous team. I love Lamar Jackson. Um, Number two, hmm, we had this debate the last time we talked about. We were going off about the
It's fluid,
Dolphins.
baby. It don't even matter. It's fluid, baby. It's just
Every
it's
week,
the end of
man. But
it's at the end of the season.
I still
This ain't your
think
Super Bowl pick. Just go in there.
I know, but I still think the Buffalo Bills are a slightly better football team than the Miami Dolphins. And number one, I'm going with Kansas City. Like Kansas City, they're 6-2 as well. Patrick Mahomes, they did had a down game last Sunday, but next thing you know, they might put 34, 35 points or whoever coming up next. So Kansas City, that's the team to watch out for, and don't sleep on Baltimore. I think Baltimore is about to start getting the groove.
Okay. All right, Henry. What about your AFC top three?
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna mirror DT's big three. I gotta put KC number one, Buffalo number two, Baltimore number three, Miami. We're gonna find a little bit more about them against this game in Kansas City, but they failed the last two times they played some contending teams. So I'm content with that big three.
Okay. Y'all know how I feel about the Bills, so I'm still gonna keep them out. They still got some things to show me. Um, I am going to put Baltimore number 3. I'm still gonna keep that. I'm gonna actually put Kansas City number 2. I'm still gonna keep Miami number 1, especially after this week when we see them play in Germany. I think they play in Germany this week against KC. So we're gonna see. I do believe that Miami can be a force. They gotta put some things back together. They got back Jalen Ramsey. So we're gonna start seeing this. Literally on the outside looking in is the Bills. I will give the Bills that number 4 spot, but they're on the outside looking in right now. For me, I still got to see something. All right, top 3 NFC BT. Here we go. All of our division, all of our conference.
All right. So number 3, I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions. Love what I've seen so far, offensively and defensively. They're starting to come along. Number 2, they've been reeling a little bit, but I'm still gonna say the 49ers. Um, they got the talent. They have a couple of nick up. We starting to see Brock Purdy um, look a little bit human out there. Based on situations, Trent Williams didn't play a couple of games. Debo Samuel's not helping out in the passing game. And number 1, this team just keeps finding a way to win, regardless if their defense getting a 30 or the offense is struggling at certain points. It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Henry.
So I'm gonna try to be humble. I'm gonna be humble this week. I'm not gonna put us number 1. I'm gonna be objective as I can, as I can be. So for number 1, or should I do it like DT? I'll break it from number 3. Number 3 are the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? In our process, that's where we at right now. I think I'm going to put us ahead of San Fran because we haven't lost 3 straight games. We haven't lost to Minnesota. We haven't lost to Cleveland, with the backup quarterback. And I understand that they've gone through some nicks and some bruises, and they are an injured team. But again, though, I gotta see Purdy. I gotta see Purdy go through a whole season with teams game planning, scheming, and him physically being able to make it through a season because it's still young. He still basically has a rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen him for a whole season. I'm sorry, go through a whole season. We haven't seen defensive coordinators, you know what I'm saying, put game plans together after seeing him on film and after seeing him in this Kyle Shanahan offense for a whole season. We haven't seen him physically be able to hold up for a whole season. So we got it's still some questions to be answered. And even with some of these injuries to Trent Williams and Debo Samuels, I don't remember them playing no defense. They gave up 31 points. They don't play no defense. Understand? I like what they did. I like Randy. I like the Randy Gregory move. I like the Chase Young move. I really do. But who playing corner? Who playing safety? That's all I'm saying. I'm just asking real deal questions, not from a fan's point of view, from a football fan's point of view, not a Lions fan, but a football fan. Understand? I'm just a football fan. I can talk about any of these damn teams. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. But number 2, now this was real respectfully too. I'm going by what they've done recently. I'm going by their makeup of their roster right now, and I'm gonna put Dallas at number 2. But this is very fluid because we're gonna find out on this Philly gang what's up. We're gonna find out what's up with them. So Dallas, respectfully, right now number 2, and number 1 is Philadelphia. Even with the transitions at the coordinator spots, they're still winning football games, still playing better. I'm sorry, still getting better. Haven't played their best football, and they're 7-1, leading the conference. There we go.
All right. Okay. It was DT for me during that spill. Not even gonna say anything. But my top 3. I'm honestly gonna put and this is gonna be quick firepower. Cowboys number 3, 49ers number 2, and then I'm gonna give Detroit Lions number 1. They
Damn, what no Philly love?
I'm not giving Philly no love. Philly got to show me.
No Philly State.
No Philly. Dude, they gotta.
What they gotta do? What they gotta do?
She says the wrong bird. She says the wrong bird. See him.
Yeah, that's just the wrong bird.
It's the
No,
wrong word.
Philly does find ways to win, but I'm looking at like how you broke down the San Francisco 49ers defense. I'm looking at that, and Jalen Hurts, looking at some of the turnovers. He's literally number 2 behind Desmond Ritter as a top with turnovers, and that's not winning games for me. That's not. You can't be over a turnover magnet, and then on top of that, some of the turnovers, in my opinion, were like rookie mistakes, especially one. I forgot who they were playing, but he stared down the receiver and threw the ball right to him. We can't. I expect a little bit more for you. You had a lot of people advocating for you and fighting for you, and it's almost in a sense. I don't know if it's the change of the offensive coordinator or different things. The offense still looks explosive, but it doesn't look as threatening as it did the year prior. The defense, you got all of these. You guys went out there and got the top defensive tackle in Jalen Carter, and then you went out on this. No knock on Jalen Carter because he's one of the top best right now, statistically wise. But you went out here and got all these Georgia Bulldogs. You got you're supposed to have this world-renowned defense, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. But at the end of the day, they still find things to win. And I'm just going to say this, and I hate the comparisons, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad about this, but it reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys always have question marks in certain positions, quarterback positions, but they still find ways to win. But then when it comes playoff time, poof. And
hold on now. These boys lost in the Super Bowl. Now, this ain't the first and second round no play. These boys lost the Super Bowl.
No.
Don't do them like the Cowboys now.
It's right now the way this season is going.
Cowboy fans would love to get to anything with Super in front of it right now. You know what I'm saying? They enjoy going to the supermarket right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so dead.
They get an eye out of that.
I mean, but it's just like it's just for me, when you look at it, I know that we can't, kind of look at last season and expect the same results. It's always going to be different, but you expect with the additions that they made, the things that they did, promoting from within to keep everything the same. You didn't expect, like for me, not this big of a drop off. You see what I'm saying? You kind of expected a little bit of the motor to still kind of go, but I'm not seeing that from them just now. They find ways to win, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, that's great and all, but what are y'all going to do in the playoffs? Because y'all very much look beatable. Like they can beat you. The right team can beat you.
Yeah. I can go with that. I can't go with them not being top 4 in the NFC, but I see some vulnerabilities in them, and again, I think it's some questions, but I love to learn to get the answers to my questions why I'm winning. That to me says a little bit something about them, and for them not to have played their best football and still be where they are.
Yeah, and Jalen dinged up too.
Yeah, he is. So we'll see how that goes with Philly. All right, we're jumping into the week 9 schedule. We got the Broncos, the Lions, Jaguars, and the 49ers are on bye this week. We have our Thursday night football game. So let's start with that, with the Tennessee Titans versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was getting ready to call them Philly.
Don't do that.
Who y'all got tonight? They going to be mad.
I gotta be careful. The kids watch me, man. They saw my picks last week, but this game tonight, I'm definitely excited to see what Will Levis look on national TV in his second start against a vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He had a great performance last week. Now he's go on the road in Pittsburgh with the terrible towels against TJ Watt, Cam Hayward coming back. But if I'm not mistaken, Fitzpatrick is out tonight, so that's going to be interesting to see how safety play looks for the that over there. But it's going to be a sloppy game, sloppy defensive game. They're going to knock each other heads off and stuff like that. But I think Pittsburgh, with Kenny Smallhands, they're going to muster up just enough offense to get away with a 6-point victory. So I got Pittsburgh winning tonight.
Okay, Henry.
Man, so conflicted on this one. My record last week was so terrible, man. They got me dejected out here. I don't know what to do. This is one of those games, though. You know, everybody keeps wondering how Mike Tomlin starts winning, how he keeps having these winning seasons. And in this is one of those games where everything to me is really, really saying Tennessee. They got the young quarterback, Derrick Henry. I need a big night from him. I need 2 touchdowns from you, Derrick Henry, 80 yards. Give me something, baby. Give me something, baby. You know what I'm saying? But that secondary gives me a little bit of pause. Is this a week that Kenny Pickett can get, you know what I'm saying, get right with George Pickens and Deontay Johnson? I mean, I don't know. So tough game. I'm just gonna go. I'm picking Tomlin. Tomlin. I don't even know. I don't even know how, who gonna do what. I don't know. Najee gonna do something. I'm picking Tomlin. That's who I'm picking.
He said he picking the veteran coach in this one. Yeah, they're after my team.
Tomlin and TJ Watt.
My team actually played them last week. We had opportunities to kind of win against that team. Will Levis, again, he was playing a defense, a depleted Falcons defense, not at his full strength, you know, kind of giving him that. So I do agree this will be his first time seeing what he actually fully looks like. I will say that the Steelers defense can make Levis panic in the pocket. So we'll see. I am going with Tomlin. You know, even though he's a Kappa and this is SG Road month, you know, I still don't like the newts right now, but I'm gonna go with that newt for this purpose.
The D9 slam is crazy.
Hey, I'm sorry. They try to say it's Indy love. The Indies love the AKAs and the Deltas. So I'm gonna go stick where I am most loved, and that's with the Qs, the Iotas, and the Sigmas. Go down.
Boy.
All right. So the next game we're going to start early in the morning. We're going to wake up and eat our breakfast while we're watching the Dolphins and KC and good old Dutchland. Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
German chocolate, eh?
I know a little bit of German. All I know is Wiener Schnitzel means hot dog, and I love that place.
Wow.
Go ahead, DC. Who we?
I'm kind of torn about this game. First time in Germany, 9:30. Tyreek Hill gets to play his former team. Kansas City still trying to go through the motions with their young wide receiver core. They still got Patrick Mahomes. This might be one of the best games of the day, and it happens to start in the morning, so I'm going to have to watch the first couple of minutes before I head to church. But I'm going with my gut, man. I'm going with Kansas City. I think Kansas City going to find a way to pull this game off.
Yes. Look, go ahead, Henry. Good morning.
Listen, man, this one right here is a tough one, man. If I go by, you know, saying previous experiences, and it's hard for me to pick Miami because they haven't really shown up. I'm not gonna say shown up. They haven't won these big games. Mm-hmm. The NFL, man, the NFL is definitely knows what they're doing, man. They're gonna have us hooked into these games all day on Sunday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. We watching everything. So that we the big winners, I guess, and the NFL is the big winners. But for this game here, I want to say Miami because Kansas City been a little shaky after that Denver game, that Denver loss. It's kind of hard to have so much faith in them. It's on foreign soil. I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm gonna go Miami in this game. I don't know kind of how. I like the way Tua's been playing. Waddle's been coming on. We know what Tyreek Hill can do. It's gonna have to be defensively. And to your point, Lady E, Jalen Ramsey is back. And I don't even know that are they gonna be able to put him on Kelsey or something because they haven't really got no wide receivers that I really care about in Kansas City. So this is gonna be a good game, man. I know Mahomes gonna do something crazy. It's gonna be a great quarterback duel, but I'm going Miami. They're the underdog too. So if y'all trying to make some money, put it on them.
Exactly. Tyreek Hill already said he can't wait to come back and beat him. He already said it. He already said that he can't wait to come back against him and play against them. Again, this is on foreign land. This is a statement game. This is where you're starting to now week 9. We're in week 9. This is where you start to separate the real from the pretenders at this point. So yeah, I hate to say KC is going to lose 2 in a row, but when you go play over there on that foreign land and that foreign soil, things get different. So I am gonna go with Miami for that one. Welcome to Miami, Miami. All right, I had to do that. We finna get jiggy with it. So next one, Seattle. We got a Bird Bowl in the making with Seattle coming to the good old Baltimore Ravens. Who are
Not a
y'all?
bird bowl.
Yeah, hey, that's 2 birds right there. 2 birds. Calm.
Mm.
Who you got, DT?
Part of me wants to go Seattle in a crazy upset, but every time I think about it, I keep thinking about how Lamar Jackson is like 17-1 against the NFC. So they also got Leonard Williams too, so that should help boost their run defense as well. I just like what Baltimore is going to be looking at the next couple of weeks. If they go on this streak that I'm thinking they're going to do, just watch out. So I'm going to have Baltimore winning. I'm gonna have Baltimore winning this game.
Okay. Henry, do you see them birds?
I see the birds. I see the birds, the Seahawks and the Ravens. These are both the birds that cooked up lion meat. So made lion stew of us. So I got a good perspective on this one. I like the way the Ravens are playing right now. Again, we talked about them being one of the top teams in the AFC. Seahawks are a solid team, but I think this is a get right game for Lamar, who didn't really go off last week. I think he gets right in this game. I'm taking the Ravens in a close one. I think it's going to be some points scored in this game, but I'm taking the Ravens in a close game.
All right. I know my son's dad is going to be very happy to know that I am going to pick the Ravens. Like I told y'all before, give the Ravens some time to get used to that Todd Monken system, and we're going to see them explode. We're going to see them because I feel like Todd Monken's system does fit Lamar Jackson to a T. So again, I do see that. I just feel like it's going to be a lot more offense that's going to be played with this game, but I do feel like the Ravens defense are going to make those key stops. So let's go to an awkward game, in my opinion. We got the new look Cardinals without Josh Dobbs against the Cleveland Browns. Henry, I'm gonna start with you. Who you picking?
Cleveland Browns, somehow 4-3 in the roughest division in the NFL. I don't know what Deshaun. I don't know what's going on with Deshaun. I don't know if he want to play. I don't know if he done got in trouble. I don't know what's going on. But PJ, what's his name? PJ Walker.
Mm-hmm.
He doing something. The Cardinals and decided they going into tank mode. Josh Dobbs was too smart for them. They had to ship him on out. He was winning keeping them in too many games. They got James Conner on IR. They didn't put Zach Ertz on IR. They out here tanking. So I'm going with the Browns, man. I don't even know who the quarterback is. I don't know who's going to be the running back, but the Browns going to probably win this game.
All right, DT.
Yeah, I agree. I'm leaning Browns towards here, but I will say, if Deshaun missed a couple games, I think we, as members of this podcast, need to have a revisit conversation about that deal that sent him there, because so far, whew, man, looking like somebody got saved because he only had one game that I seen he looked like Deshaun Watson. Every other game he ain't been playing either. So availability, accessibility.
In the
So
water.
Yeah.
Wait in the water, children. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Cause yeah, shout out to Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry, this is my little tidbit. I love Myles Garrett as a person that is literally could have been born on Halloween, but as part of spooky season, especially because of Scorpio season, I love his themes when it comes down to Halloween. This year he was Jeepers Creepers, even though it didn't happen the way I thought it was gonna happen, but I love it. 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 I love how he sets his house up and different things and stuff like that to be the Halloween thing. But yeah, shout out to him for being Jeepers Creepers, even though it didn't play out the way that they thought it was. So, next game, the LA Rams is coming to Pack Town. They are going to Green Bay in this cold weather, as a lot of the United States has been feeling this point in town. Yeah, Henry, who you got? This your division. Well, this ain't your division. This is part of your division.
You know what? I'm a little torn here because I don't know if Matt Stafford is going to play at all. I know he hurt his thumb. I don't know who the Brett Rippon, I think, is the backup. What's his name? Jordan Love has been playing like a backup for the Packers. Aaron Jones has been hurt. He hasn't been producing. Christian Watson, everybody jumped on that train. I told him, slow down. He hasn't been producing. So this has got a nasty little stench to it. And I don't really know kind of where to go here. So I'm gonna go to the Packers at home. So if Brett Rippon plays, I'm going with the Packers at home in a close game. They're only favored by 3. The over and under is 38. So this is gonna be a nasty game.
Nasty. It's gonna have to get nasty in Green Bay.
Stench.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got the same mindset as well. I'm curious about Matt Stafford's availability for this game. Man, when was the last time the Packers were like it had to be way before I was even thought of, like they look bad. So with that being said, until I hear some words about Matthew Stafford, even if it's Brett Rippon, I feel as though the Packers can't go like 2-6. They gotta find a win somewhere around here. So I got the Packers winning at home.
Okay. I'm still just gonna go with my pick with LA. I'm gonna stick with LA. With that, I just I think the defense will be a little bit too much for Jordan. I don't think that I honestly think that he learned behind Aaron Rodgers, but again, first full season, shaky. Maybe next year. At this point, maybe next year.
He didn't pass. He not passing his exams.
He not passing his exam. We just gonna cut the class. We're gonna refund you partial, and then we're gonna try again next year.
Not cut the class.
Yeah, we're gonna cut the class.
We're gonna let you try again.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you a head start on next year. We're gonna give you a head start.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna give you back 30% though, since you played like that. You played 30% good this season. So we're gonna give you back 30%.
Man, we're gonna need your keys. We're gonna need your uniform, helmet.
Yep, the laptop, everything. We'll try again next year. But next game could probably be a good game too, especially for them taking that loss to the Carolina Panthers in the number 1 versus number 2 draft picks this year. We got the Bears are flying down there to good H-Town. So who do you guys have for the Bucks versus Texans? DT, who you picking?
This is a tough one too. I like both teams. I think the Bucks have lost maybe past 2 to 3 couple games. I wish Texans had won last week because I had the Texans winning this week. Home game, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. I'm gonna lean towards the Buccaneers based on the injury to Pierce. I think Pierce might not be playing, so they might have a little bit of advantage stopping the run and trying to force CJ to throw a little bit more than anticipated. So I got the Buccaneers winning on the nail biter.
He said nail biter. Henry?
I'm kind of with you, DT. I'm looking at the line. The Texans are favored by 3. Over under 39. I think it's going to be a little bit more exciting game than that. I think CJ Stroud is going to be able to, throw the football around a little bit. Tampa Bay's defense is a little bit underrated. I think they disrespecting Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin a little bit. I'm going to go with, I don't know if it's an upset, but I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay. I don't want to say Tampa going to win because if we lose, that put them in first place. But, yeah, we're going to see about that. But I am going to go with Tampa. Hopefully the Texans don't disappoint me in my secret than wanting to win. just for ranking purposes.
I
That's
know it's
why
a tight race, so I want to keep it to the race exciting for you guys.
no. We don't need not with our little controversies that we got going on over here. No. Fan base will it'd be more. It'll be dead at that point. Next game we got the Chicago Bears coming on down to them New Orleans Saints. They trying to come and have for a good time. Who do y'all got? DT.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. Home field advantage. Tyson Baggett, his third start, his second start on the road. Chase Young first game. I think Chase Young. I mean not Chase Young. Montez Sweat first game with the Bears. He might have an impact, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think it's too much for the New Orleans defense to go after this Bears offense without the threat of a Justin Fields' legs and deep ball ability. So I'm gonna go with the Saints at home.
Okay, Henry.
Man, I'm gonna go with the Saints too. In this game. They're just looking a little bit better defensively than Chicago. Chicago's not playing with Justin Fields this week. I'm gonna go with the Saints. Alvin Kamara getting about 20, 25 catches a game, so I'm gonna go with the Saints. Check down Charlie. Derek Carr is definitely in effect.
I'm dead.
Yo, that stat line is nasty.
I'm dead. Oh my gosh.
Oh, let me go on mute.
So for me, I am gonna go the Saints. I know people are gonna be like, don't be picking us, you know what I mean? Defense, and this is just based off of defensively. Again, the Bears are starting their backup and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes down. I just want them to give me some beignets and some. I'll be good when it comes down. I just want some good old beignets with that. So next game that we have right here is going to be the Indianapolis Colts versus the Carolina Panthers. Who do you have, DT?
Golly, bro. I wish Richardson was playing. This would have been a great matchup. Been Bryce Young and CJ Stroud for 1 week. Then the next week should have been AR-15 against Bryce Young. But we got Gardner Minshew. Shout out to my boy Kendall. He's a Colts fan. He runs the Risky Powerhouse podcast, talks all NBA. Shout out to my boy Joshua. He runs the Joshua Proximity podcast. Both of these fans of these respective teams, both of us went to college in North Carolina at Shaw University. And I'm about to go in this group chat after this. Now I'm gonna ask them how they feel. But I'm going with the Colts. I feel like they got a little bit more things offensively than right now than the Panthers. I do like what Bryce Young did last week. I just think the Colts offense is going to be a little bit too much for the Panthers defense.
Okay.
I'm going with the Colts too, man. And a little bit of a little race over there themselves. And honestly, Gardner Minshew hasn't been that bad for them, man. They're in a lot of football games. They got JT back. That defense has been solid. Colts playing good ball.
Yeah. Shout out to Minshew Mania again. The stash. I just want to see the Panthers. They finally got their win. But I am gonna go with the Colts because I just want to see them squirm when they know that the Chicago Bears got number 1 and number 2 of their draft round picks. So it just makes it even better. The more they continue to lose, the more the Chicago Bears are really benefiting at this point. And I just love every minute of it because nobody didn't tell y'all to do all of that. So, that's my pain since I'm giving the Panthers fans what they want. They wanted a rivalry between us and the Falcons. Well, this is the rivalry. Keep losing. Losing. All right. Next game. New York Giants versus the Raiders, and I think we all know what this is gonna turn out to be. So DC,
Do we know though?
Yeah,
Really?
who quarterback for the Giants?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, when I say I think we know what it is, I believe it's gonna end in a tie at this point.
She's saying that it's Daniel Jones then.
Oh,
You know what? Because I truly despise this team.
mm.
Aiden O'Connell,
It's in Vegas.
It is.
fourth quarter comeback, the legend of Aiden O'Connell. Give me
Aiden
the
O'Connell.
Raiders, bro. Give me the Raiders. Just win, baby. Just win. Just win. Just win because I hate.
Who do you got, Henry?
I kind of like the way you're thinking on this one. Tyrod was looking better. Tyrod was looking better as the quarterback for the Giants. They only 2-6 too, so the locker room is kind of iffy. I heard Daniel Jones has been cleared. I think that he's going to get the reins back. This could be a game where if it's not good, the Giants locker room could be lost for the rest of the season, and everybody can start making their plans for Turks and the Bahamas and all that good stuff as soon as the season is over. Raiders are favored by 2. The defense didn't look that bad on Monday. Had a pick 6, forced a couple turnovers. Aiden O'Connell, I'm with you, DT. Aiden O'Connell gonna get my man Devontae 12 catches. They're gonna treat him like the Alvin Kamara of the Raiders. Josh Jacobs gonna get right. They're gonna beat them Giants, man. They're gonna beat them Giants in Vegas.
Hey,
This might be the only win for Antonio Pierce and whoever the GM is over there, man. The two brothers, but they're gonna get it this week. First week out, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like my
go.
boy T Grizzly, first day out.
I'm not gonna this one. But I'm gonna go with I'm going with the Raiders. I just feel like Vegas. I feel like Vegas got some money on this right now with all the ups and the downs, and you know when Vegas got their input on there, they don't lose. So I'm going with the Raiders. All right. So I hate the well, you know what? I'm gonna go to this game, but I really hate that they didn't flex this game, to be honest with you. The Cowboys versus the Eagles. We kind of had a conversation about this. This is gonna be one of those games. I think they put this as the game of the week, honestly. So I think this is like a 3 o'clock slated game, 4 o'clock slated for us on the East Coast. I'm gonna start with the division foe. With this one, the division rival, you got 2 of your teams in your division. Who do you see is just gonna lose? I know you hate both of them. If they both can just lose, you'll be fine.
So, these fan bases have been waiting for each other ever since the off season. You know, they split last year. One game, my guy Dak did not play. The other game, my guy Jalen Hurts did not play. So now we get both of these quarterbacks playing. Even though Jalen's kind of dinged up, I still think he's going to be healthy enough. AJ Brown's on a tear, y'all. Like AJ Brown is on a tear. I like what Dallas is doing this year, but I think this game is going to come down to who doesn't make the most crucial mistake. Jalen has had a tendency to throw interceptions this year. You know, we all know about Dak. He's kind of been better, but that game with the 49ers, it's like, I hate both of them, man, but I hate Dallas the most. That's that.
Don't let hate be your guide.
That's guide me the better decisions because I'd rather see Philadelphia win than the Dallas Cowboys. I can't do it if it work. So I'm going with Philadelphia.
Okay. Hand.
Tough game.
And deal with it at work.
Tough game. 46.5. I think we see a lot of points. You talked about AJ Brown, but it's an old man on the other sideline. Mr. Stephen Gilmore. He's going to have a lot to prove. I think he's going to draw that assignment. I don't know if he stops A.J. Brown, but maybe he can slow him down. I like this young kid, Duran Bland, whoever he is, who did all these pick sixes. This is a game in Philly that on paper looks like Philly should win, favored by 3. They 7-1. But this is the type of game that gets everybody excited about the Cowboys. When they win these type of games, then we elevate them and say, okay, this is going to be the year when they're ready to make that leap. This is that type of game right here. Dak looking good. I don't know about with Mike McCarthy, then, you know what I'm saying, got his coaching the game together, but I think I'm going to go with Dallas in this game.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to go with Dallas. Philly is still a little vulnerable at the defensive spot, especially at the linebacker position. Especially in that secondary. They did get Kevin Byard. I don't know if he's going to play in this game or not. I think he definitely helps out that back end. But Dallas been getting kind of right. And again, they win this game. Everybody's going to be talking about them as a Super Bowl contender come Monday. And that sounds about right. They get the hype train going, just like these rankings for the college football. They get the hype train going, and then they let us down, man, in later on in the season. So I'm gonna go with I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys in the tight one. 31-27. Shootout.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about Dak and everything. You know what I'm saying? Light skin gonna be back in style and everything come Monday.
This ain't the 90s, Henry.
Whether he or Jalen win, it's coming back, baby.
I'm dead. Look, I'm gonna say this. Shout out to the Texas Rangers. They just won their first ever World Series in history. You know, they might rub off on some luck to the Cowboys, maybe, but I feel for some odd reason I think that Philly's defense is just gonna click. You know, again, Jalen Hurts has been throwing picks, but Dak is good to get you about 1 or 2 himself. So, turnover battle. Got to win the turnover battle. We got to see how that's gonna play out, especially with both QBs. I just think Philly's offense has a little bit more firepower than that of the Cowboys. So I'm going to go with the fly, Eagles fly. In this one, I will say it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. And I'm going to say this because I think this is their first time playing each other for the season. So I will say this. Philly's going to get one at home, and I think Dallas is going to get it. I do feel like they split. So that's just how
I don't know if we lost DT, but I know that Dak has an outstanding record against his division. I wish he could. I'm gonna have to look it up. I know he has an outstanding record against his division. But yeah. I mean, I think this is the one that Stephen A. You know, everybody's gonna be on Stephen A.'s head. We're talking about Dak real good. You know, and part of the problem, I got Dak starting about 3 of my leagues this week, so I might be a little biased. I'm gonna have to put that on the table.
Yeah. We know you. Yeah. All right. The Sunday night football game that was not flex, to be honest with you. That was the Bills versus the Bengals. DT, I know you're having a little technical, but we still can hear you.
Kind of scared. Look like Casper Ghost out here now.
But who you picking, Casper?
So this game was definitely gonna be an emotional game. The last time these two played in the regular season, we all know what happened. DeMar Hamlin had the heart incident. So this is going to be pretty emotional. Also, they played each other in the playoffs, and the Bengals just out physical the Bills. If I had to choose right now, because this is my flip game, I feel like both teams have a great opportunity to win it. I would probably lean with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are starting to catch their groove at the right time of the season, and they might be one of those teams we're going to have to talk about that has an opportunity to get back in the playoff picture, maybe in the 4 seed against like the likes of the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going with the Bengals at home.
Okay. Henry, who are you going with?
Man, a tough game. Again, this is definitely going to be a great game. Again, man, NFL know what they're doing. They got us with Kansas City and Miami at 9:30, and with the Bills and the Bengals at 8:25. We're gonna be stuck in football all day. They know what they're doing. But with that being said, man, I don't know. The Bengals are playing good football coming off that win over San Francisco. They look like offensively they're getting their groove back. They've been doing basically all this damage without, T. Higgins, who's been a little bit banged up. I look at the Bills. I like what they're doing offensively. Defensively, where is my man Von Miller at? They're giving up a little bit. They're giving up a little bit too much on the ground. I think this is a big Joe Mixon game. I'm going to go with the Bengals in a very, very close game, though.
Okay. I do feel like the Bengals are having a little, one of those little moments where they're flipping and they're starting to actually play a little bit better, and we're starting to see that a little bit. So this is a home game. As you know, I don't trust the Bills, so I was already going for the Bengals. I'm just like, this is one of those games that we're going to be scratching our heads like, how can the Bills play a particular way one week and then turn around and do this the following week? So that's just my 2 cents on that with that one. So, but next game is the Monday night game. Monday Night Football against the San Diego Chargers and the Jets. Who you got, Hen?
Man, it's another one that's tight because you see the Jets 4-3, somehow keep winning games, somehow keep staying in the mix. I'm rooting for my man Robert Saleh to do his thing out there, man, from Dearborn here in Michigan. Then you got the Chargers, man, who are nothing but, they are nothing but the high class Lions of the past. You know what I'm saying? They teeter and tatter on winning, but they just end up what they call chargering. So this is a game where I feel like they should win. I think they have a far superior team, but their defense, I think, could possibly let them down. Breece Hall may go crazy. I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win this game on the road, but it would not surprise me if the Jets won. I can't trust Kyle Wilson, though, whatever his name is. Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson.
DT.
Boom. I'm kind of like C. Henry. You look at both of these teams. We always hype up the Chargers, then they start out very flat. This Jets team had a lot of hype before the Aaron Rodgers injury, but yet they have found ways to win football games. And I know Wilson probably looks a little bit better. I still don't trust him all the way in a game. I'm taking the Chargers to win on the road.
Okay. I will agree. I think Herbert, we haven't held Herbert accountable a little bit long enough, and I think he got to show us what he's capable of. And I think this will be probably one of those little breakout games for him. Again, Jets still have a good defense, but I just think with you having a quarterback like Herbert who likes to fight to try to win, I think they're going to pull out. I will say it'll be a little bit close though. I'll say that'd be a little bit close. All right. So the last 2 games is as Henry is on a bye. He's chilling in Venice right now. We are
Speed up, baby.
We are going to move to the Vikings versus the Falcons and the Washington Commanders versus the Patriots. So out of those 2 games, who do you got him before me and DT go? Who do you got out of those 2?
You said the Vikings and y'all get the rookie quarterback. Y'all should be able to take care of this. No Jefferson, no Kirk the jerk. Y'all should be able to take care of this. Can I trust y'all with this? Can I put some money on y'all with it? Can I get an anytime touchdown from Bijan? He scored last week. Now y'all got. We didn't talk about Heineke. So can I talk about Heineke? Because both of y'all got, little Heineke in common. So yeah. So Heineke with the start, huh?
That's nasty work.
Yeah, that was really nasty work, Hen.
I'm just
no, he gets the start. He gets
Heineke.
Yes, Heineke gets the start.
Listen, I think he's gonna get more of the weapons involved. I think he's gonna get Kyle Pitts involved, Jonnu Smith involved, Bijan involved in the passing game. He will make mistakes, as we know. But Ritter, if it's not a throwing mistake here and there, those fumbles kind of did him in, man. So I think he gives you guys the best chance to be most productive offensively. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons in this game.
Okay. All right. Washington and Patriots.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. These Commanders, man. I expected a little bit more from them. And it'd be up and down. We got Belichick.
Why we gotta be so drowsy when we talk about the Commanders now? Come on, man.
I gotta be what?
Gotta be so drowsy talking about the Commanders.
Oh man, because y'all my cousins, man. Y'all my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Deuce them, y'all my cousins now, man. I be really rooting for y'all, man. The Chocolate City, you know what I'm saying? The DMV. I be really rooting for y'all, man. Y'all be letting me down, man. My man, y'all done benched my man. He got rolled. He got, blocked by a 300-pounder. Y'all got mad at him talking about he ain't stopping the run. He only 167 pounds wet. Y'all done benched him. I'm kind of upset, man, on what's going on out there, man.
Yeah, I'm mad about that too.
But with that being said, though, y'all need this game. Y'all need this game. I don't want Belichick to be able to take away McLaurin. Y'all talk about Sam I Am so much. They don't have a number one cornerback out here for the Patriots. This would be a game that the Commanders should win. I don't understand how New England is favored by 3 in this game, but if Sam Howell is who y'all say he is, Sam I Am. If he is who y'all say he is, if McLaurin is who y'all say he is, if EB is who y'all say he is, then y'all got to win this game. That's bottom line. If they don't win this game, everybody just get the garbage bags. I get the carpenter bags and start packing stuff up because it's temporary. It's temporary at that point.
Exactly. I'm gonna just pick my game. I do think that we can win this game, but I'm just gonna go in and just with my some my holy water, some spray. It'll be the first Sunday, so I got my bread and then my wine. We just gonna pray at that point.
Get that communion. Get that communion in.
She's trying to weigh down.
Look, exactly. I'm going in. I got the Psalms, the book of Psalms open so we can start praying. We hitting with the Lord's Prayer and everything else. We praying on that game. With that, like I said, Heineke is starting or with that. So I'm picking my game. I do think the Commanders do come out with the Patriots. With this one, I really do even know with the fire sale. It's Mac Jones, y'all. It's Mac Jones. So we'll see. But DT. Let's go with you, Mr. Casper. Who do you got with the Vikings and the Falcons?
With the Vikings and Falcons, Kirk Cousins not playing, so that's definitely a huge boost. I'm about to count Taylor Heineke about to have a touchdown pylon drive this Sunday. Heineke gonna get y'all hyped up. Heineke gonna get people involved. Y'all might put 30. Y'all might put 30 up.
That's what I'm saying. Talk about it. Tell them about the experience. Talk about the roller coaster.
I know it. Y'all gonna see some hospital balls, but then you'll see Heineke. I'm trying to tell y'all now. I got Heineke winning this game. Him being a vet, been in the NFL a long time, gets to play against a former team. B. John, I expect him to get heavily involved. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. I think everybody's going to get involved. Yeah, y'all gonna be like, oh my God, this offense going smooth. And with the Commanders and the Patriots game, I definitely can see both sides winning, but I think there's going to be a restart, refresh for this team. And after the trades, I think Washington is going to come out on top with a victory.
Okay, I love that for y'all. I love it. Want to see what y'all really got to put in there after all of that. To get a look at the new look Washington Commanders. So we'll see. I will be tuning into that game. Hopefully it's playing in my area. If not, I'm gonna have to borrow somebody's
oh Lord
Sunday ticket. All right, Henry, you have the floor. Hit the people with the fantasy picks. Who to get off the waiver wire, because it's already too late to say to line up for tonight's game, but start picking up for these Sunday matchups.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We got starts of the week for this week 9. And I'm going to tell you right now, I talked about the Philadelphia and the Dallas game. I love that game. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in there. So get your players in the lineup. Obviously, like Jalen Hurts. Dak, I think he has a big week this week. Him and CD seem to be really, really improving on their chemistry for this year. Brandon Cooks is starting to make plays, so definitely get him in your lineup at the quarterback spot. If you're hurt, if you have Deshaun Watson or have some of these other guys who may be out or may be hurting, definitely some sleeper guys you can take. You can throw in your lineup this week. I like Baker Mayfield versus Houston. Also like Gardner Minshew in that game versus Carolina. At the running back spot, talked earlier about Joe Mixon pretty much getting all the work in Cincinnati, playing against that Buffalo defense that's a little bit soft in the middle. So I like Mixon this week to probably find the end zone. Also, Jonathan Taylor, man, has been getting more and more work these past few weeks that he's been playing. I know Zach Moss is there. I know Zach Moss is still scoring touchdowns, but Jonathan Taylor, I think, gets into the end zone this week against Carolina. Also, stand in that game if you want a sleeper. Chuba Hubbard seems to have taken over that job in Carolina, the running back spot. Miles Sanders, 0 points last week. Throw Chuba out there. He's getting receptions. He's getting the carries. He is the back in Carolina. Wide receiver spot. I like Amari Cooper versus the Chargers this week. Again, that Charger defense definitely not, the stingiest in the secondary. I don't care who Amari is playing with. He's starting to put up numbers. Deshaun Watson, PJ Walker, whoever, put Amari into your lineup this week. Also, T. Higgins, man, it's time for him to get, make a comeback. He's been really, really down this first half of the season, really only one big game. I think he gets right against the Buffalo Bills this week. And if you're in a pinch, you need to go for a deeper dive. Jahan Dotson seems to be getting a lot more chemistry with Sam Howell in Washington. Don't know if Curtis Samuel is going to play this week. So he is a viable start for you this week. At the tight end spot, we know it's nasty. Dalton Kincaid came through last week, 5 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. I think he comes through this week again against Cincinnati. Not the best linebackers, not the best at covering the tight end. So definitely get him in your lineup. Trey McBride was the big pickup this weekend off the waiver wire at the tight end spot, playing for versus Cleveland, which is a tough defense. But again, the tight end spot has been so nasty. You have to get somebody in there. He's getting a high volume of targets, and he's been productive last week. Deeper dive, sleeper, if you will, Jake Ferguson, developing that chemistry with Dak Prescott. Again, I think it's going to be some points scored in that Philly game. So definitely get Jake Ferguson if you're in need for some tight end production in your lineups this week. And those are the starts of the week from your boy, C. Henry. Man, y'all have a good week.
Yes, make sure y'all get those fantasy lineups together because it's almost playoff time.
Almost. We're coming down the stretch, baby.
Coming down the stretch. A lot of people, I think some people started their playoff runs week 14, I want to say.
A lot on week 14, a lot of week 15.
Yep. So, yeah, we're getting there. So, y'all start because this is it. Y'all done already.
Some of us already in our playoffs, baby. If we get another loss or two, it's gonna be over. So this is the playoffs before the offs.
Oh, okay, exactly. But
we try to play into the playoffs.
I'm dead. But no, that would do it for tonight's show, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Make sure you follow us, like, share, subscribe, and everything. I don't know what happened with DC. He's just.
I'm still here. I don't know what happened.
You know what? He said something about Halloween. They said something about Halloween, and God didn't like that. He said something about he gonna watch a couple of minutes of that football game, then go to church. God said, "Wait a minute, put God first."
I'm so dead. But we out, you guys. Y'all have a good week.
Great week.